You're going to be putting yourself out there by letting your date go through your phone before they meet you. Okay, she's gonna look through your phone first.
I feel like he is shorter than me. He has the weirdest shit in here. He screenshots everything. Like, it's just a slight bit creepy.
Obviously, she thinks she's cute, that's for sure. All these different angles and all that.
Dude, he is so judgy. Like, I was nice to him.
Man, if I could have followed this clip with her saying, "I'm so wonderful, why won't anyone date me?" That would have been the perfect self-awareness fail. I know I only showed one clip of him compared to the 3 clips I showed of her, but everything he said about her was so mild. He even compliments her.
I'm sure she's fantastic.
He actually does this multiple times during the video while she fails to give him a single compliment that didn't have some caveat to it. Oh wait, listen to this.
What do you look for in a partner?
Someone that's also open and honest.
Actions speak louder than words. A lot of people like her say they want honesty when they don't actually want it, which is why they don't end up with partners who are honest. This chick got offended when all the guy said was, "Wow, she takes a lot of photos of herself." Imagine what would happen if someone started digging into her real flaws, like how narcissistic she is, or imagine if he had made negative comments about appearance factors that she can't change, like she did when she called Austin short. Anyway, this video was done by Cut, a YouTube channel that makes a lot of content based on people being super direct with each other, which makes their dating videos very entertaining. In this video, Chloe and Austin are going to meet for the first time by looking through each other's phones.
Would you worry about your date seeing on your phone?
I didn't really have a chance to delve through my photos at all.
Well, that was a mistake. I know the turnaround times for these internet shows is like 1 or 2 days, but I can imagine that if I was going on a channel with millions of subscribers to film a video that might get millions of views, I would curate my phone immediately. The way the rest of this works out is one person will look at the phone while the other person is in a separate room with headphones on listening in. Chloe goes first. Let's watch.
Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hey,
He says, hey.
try not to drop my phone.
He says, try not to drop my phone.
Okay, well, we should have put a protector on it.
Great. They haven't even started and the date is already over. He communicates that he doesn't trust her by insinuating that she would drop his phone, and instead of making a joke of it because this is someone she just met, she gets offended. More so in the tone of her voice. She could have said pretty much those exact words jokingly, which would have diffused the situation and made things way more fun. So both of them failed here. Good interactions generally don't start with negativity. But honestly, I think that was kind of the point of this social experiment, which is why Cut framed the date in a way that they knew would cause drama.
Why don't you go to photos so you can see what he looks like?
Okay. I'm just looking at selfies right now. Oh, he works out. He's at a gym, or maybe like a home gym.
Yeah, I have a sweet home gym set up.
He says he works out.
Yeah, a little bit, it looks like.
You can tell she's not impressed by the tone of her voice. When the guy from Cut said, he says he works out, she responded, yeah, a little bit, it looks like. Versus something more positive like, yeah, a little bit, it looks like. See how the tonality changes what she means? And this is the exact reason why I think people should stop using dating apps. Meeting someone on a computer removes tons of context, and that seems to pretty consistently frame potential relationships negatively. For one, people get overly judgmental about appearance because it's the only real useful information that these apps provide.
I feel like he is shorter than me. He looks like he is anywhere from 5'7" to 5'10", maybe 5'10".
This is definitely the worst part of dating apps. Yes, height is an important factor for women, and I think it's perfectly fine for her to say that she doesn't want to date someone who she thinks is too short. However, he's not that much shorter than her.
I'm not 5'7", I'm not 5'8". I'm like 5'9" and a quarter, so.
How tall are you, Chloe?
I'm 5'10".
Oh yeah, she'd tower right over me.
At least he's willing to make a joke of it, but he's only an inch shorter. Tons of women out there are okay with dating a guy who is 2 or 3 inches shorter, which is within Austin's range. Everyone has those little gray areas of things they will accept that are outside of their preferences. What makes people go against their physical preferences? A person's personality. Personality is a huge factor in attractiveness that can make a person's score go up or down, and it's completely missing from most of the vetting in dating apps. All you get are a couple of pictures and a few lines about who they are and what they want. You don't get to hear the tone of their voice, you don't get their body language or mannerisms, and you don't really get traits like sense of humor. If Austin and Chloe first met in person instead of over a screen and he made her laugh, she might be completely willing to forget her preference for a taller guy. For example, here's a video where 3 girls did a speed date with a tall guy and a short guy several times, and the short guys won more often than the tall guys did because of their personalities.
Anthony,
Yes.
I feel like you are extremely attractive. You got that going on, but you haven't had to really develop your personality much.
Personality-wise, Brent was bringing it today, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who can make you laugh, and he kind of seemed more honest. Brent, I think you might have won this round.
Oh, God is good.
Brent, I might chill with you because you sound like you're a little freak. Yeah, I might go out with you.
The last girl picked the tall guy, but do you see how much of a difference that can make? Both the girls said they wanted a tall guy when they started.
I definitely like tall men. For like, you have to be significantly taller than me.
Height does everything for me. I mean, I'm thinking about breeding. Like, naturally, as a woman, I'm thinking about, okay, can this man have my babies, and is he gonna give me strong, strapping sons?
Without this contextual information during your first experience of the person, everything just becomes about who is most physically attractive, with no consideration for the personality traits that make people attractive. Those same personality traits that tell you that you're a fit for a specific person much better than appearance does. Removing that context is why you are getting tons of superficial and garbage relationships from dating apps. Okay, enough of my rant on Tinder. Let's get back to the show.
He has lots of pictures of girls on here, lots of screenshots. He has the weirdest shit in here. Like, there's a picture of a girl on a bike with her ass out.
Austin, why are you taking screenshots of women with their butts out?
Pops up on my feed. Maybe I want to share it with my fellow brethren.
Yeah, he has those pictures for research purposes. Nothing else. Now remember, he did say that he didn't clear out his pictures before this video. If this clothed picture that I can't show because of YouTube's inconsistent monetization policy is the worst he has, then his pornography use is probably pretty tame. If pornography use is something that offends her, and it sounds like it does because she mentions him wanting to look at other girls a lot, then this guy is probably a pretty decent pick. Anyway, that's everything interesting that happens with Austin's phone. Let's move on to Chloe's.
Are you ready for him to go through your phone?
Yeah, my phone is like mild compared to that.
My videos are scripted, so obviously I've seen the whole cell phone date by the time you're hearing me speak. So let me just say that her phone definitely has more damning material in it than Austin's does.
Do you want him to start going through your phone?
Go for it.
Your battery's low as fuck. Charge your phone. It's all in red. This bitch about to die on me.
Uh-oh.
She does the whole like personalization thing with like, what are these called? Widgets?
Yeah, it's cute.
It's kind of basic.
Oh my god, he's hella rude.
Man, he just goes right for it. He's right, that is super basic. Obviously, these two have no chance with each other, so the rest of this is just going to be about the drama. Not to say that she didn't deserve this behavior from him. The whole time she looked through his phone, she didn't say a single positive thing, outside of this backhanded compliment.
Okay, so he looks cuter in his Hinge profile than he does like on his personal selfies.
Yeah, he looks cute when he doesn't suck at taking photos. Compare that to Austin's commentary.
Let's just start with Instagram. Athlete, founder of Define Beauty Brand. Is that like your personal business or?
Uh-huh.
It is.
Oh, neat. That's kind of cool.
See how his demeanor is different from hers? She trashed him the entire time, but at least he said, hey, that's cool, she has a business. And his compliments didn't have footnotes like hers did. Now, I'm a little older than him, so I know that when someone puts founder of Define Beauty Brand in their profile, there's like a 99% chance that they don't run a successful business. Seeing that I can't find this alleged brand anywhere on Google, it probably means it's not successful. Also, looking at her Instagram, she might be the only person in history to ever lose followers after being in a video with 3.7 million views on it. I don't know, maybe it's a different account, which would be a terrible branding mistake on her part. She has a TikTok where she lip syncs other people's content. Very creative. Oh look, she's a yoga teacher. Now I know she's definitely not successful. I was in that industry. Almost nobody makes good money as a yoga teacher. Also, when she was looking at Austin's phone, she said that she was a trainer. That job has a massive turnover rate, and again, almost nobody succeeds in it by comparison to the number of people who try.
Fitness pics. She's feeling herself. Yep. Yeah, she's yoked.
I'm bigger than you.
She could beat the shit out of me for sure.
Wait, did she just spend all that time commenting on how offended she was by the pictures of women in his phone when she stores a bunch of pictures of her ass and hers? How lacking in self-awareness could she be? It gets even better. Now, unfortunately, again, puritanical YouTube will probably punish me if I show the other photos she takes of herself, but trust me, those photos are much worse than the stuff that she complained about on his phone. I'll show the clip for context, but I have to censor it. So if you want the full context, you can just watch the actual video from Cut.
Oh, I see some ass. Oof. There's a lot of skin going on here.
This was actually a pleasant surprise for me. I thrive on hypocritical gotcha moments, and her hypocrisy with the photos right there was just perfect. Here's something that doesn't make sense to me, though. There are two things that Chloe is here for. One, she's here to possibly go on a date, and two, she's obviously here to promote her Instagram because she said her full name, whereas Austin didn't.
Hi, my name is Austin.
My name's Chloe Holdridge.
And she had them show her Instagram account with all her information. What's odd about this is that judging by the photos on her Instagram that I can show of her, she at least has some fashion sense. So why is she dressed up like it's laundry day for this video? This is supposed to be a first date. Though considering that Austin isn't dressed that well either, I'm not really sure how committed they are. But still, they both knew they were going to be on film, so why did they, especially her considering that she's here to promote her brand, dress so poorly?
I mean, obviously she thinks she's cute, that's for sure. All these different angles and all that.
Dude, he is so judgy. Like, I was nice to him.
He's being super tame with his feedback, and she can't even handle that. The most hilarious thing about this is that she's trying to be a professional TikToker and Instagram model. Chloe, take it from someone who makes a living in the field that you want to be in. If you can't handle mildly negative feedback, then you don't belong on the internet as an influencer. Based on what I've seen of your content, you aren't a good creator and you are far too narcissistic to listen to the kind of feedback from people that will help you build the skill required to be a success. Pick something else instead of wasting years of your life failing at this. Like be a nurse. That's a pretty lateral move from fitness. Nurses also make a ton of money and they have a lot of flexibility in their schedules. I stress that last part because of this.
What else do you see in her photos?
What do you mean what else? It's all her. And some babies. Are these yours? You got a kid?
Yes, I have a son.
She has a son.
You got a whole baby?
Do you have any kids?
No. Still live with the parents. Fuck.
I know people are going to crap on him for living with his parents, but come on. She has a kid and a job that definitely doesn't make her a living. She probably lives with her parents too. Now for me, this whole thing was over the minute I saw her wearing that concert t-shirt to a first date. Not dressing nice says that you don't care. But she also has a kid? Hard pass. Provided that she's not widowed, which I doubt she is, this means that she either destroyed that relationship with her own toxic behavior, or she is terrible at picking good, mentally stable relationship partners. It also means that she is likely irresponsible with contraceptives because she looks young, and I doubt that this kid was planned.
Would you ever date someone who has a kid?
Probably not, no.
Why not?
I'm a child myself. I'm sure she's fantastic.
Guys don't want that kind of baggage, and before all the single mothers watching this have a meltdown, I've talked to women before about this subject. Women who don't have kids generally don't want guys with kids from a previous relationship either. So you don't get to create your own baggage and then insist that a guy without baggage has to date you. Basically, you should be sticking to guys who are also single parents.
I'll go fucking Hinge. Let's go. Dating app, dating app. Let's do it. Oh, you got 2 likes in the queue. John, looking like an idiot, liked your photo. Oh, fuck, I'm messing this dude right now. Hey, cutie. You plus me tonight. Does he also have a kid? Hey, kid for kid. There you guys go. You guys can have, like, dates with kids. That's awesome.
How ironic. Judging by the way she reacted, she doesn't want the single dad. Seeing how little self-awareness Chloe had during this entire video, I doubt she understands that this guy she doesn't want is the kind of guy who is at her level. And by the way, excellent move from Austin. That little bit of his was good for views. Alright, now it's time for them to meet. I'm sure they're dying to see each other.
All right, are you ready to meet?
I'm in for it now.
That guy asking the question laughed like he already knew that this was supposed to be the result of the video. Though I'm sure most of us could have guessed that.
What's cracking, Chloe?
You know, I was really nice to you. You're just really rude.
What'd you find on this film?
Just a lot of screenshots, naked women.
I don't have naked photos. They're
They were
probably
like, yeah.
a little bit risque, but like, you know.
Did you even find my risque photos?
100%.
You actually look better in person. Your selfie game is a little like
100%.
needs work.
My photos are garbage.
Do you see how this guy was able to self-criticize by saying his photos look like crap, but she doesn't make the connection on how it's hypocritical that she criticized him for having sexual photos on his phone when she does the same thing? I mean, Chloe, come on. I'm really trying to be fair here and say at least one good thing about you like I try to in all my other videos, but I can't find anything. I've watched the video like 5 times now looking for something good, and the most positive thing I could find was simply her being realistic about him not wanting someone with a kid.
Would you two go on a second date with each other?
No.
Not even like a quick coffee?
No.
No. I mean, no.
I think you're nice. I think you're funny.
Yeah.
You're just a little rude.
Just blunt.
But definitely not each other's type. And like
Yeah,
I
I
have
mean-
a kid, and if that's like an absolute no, then goodbye.
Geez, can you say just one positive thing about this guy without mixing it with something negative? You're really funny, but you're rude. She says this while at the same time being completely oblivious to her own behavior. Chloe was incredibly rude during this video. Both of them were rude, but even so, Austin was quite a bit nicer, and a lot of his behavior was just in response to hers. You get back the energy that you give off, Chloe. But I guess it's good that she didn't flip out about him not wanting a single mom. Again, though, this is why I don't like dating apps. I think they encourage this kind of negative behavior, particularly in women, because they have like 10 times as many options as guys do.
Are you looking for love?
Yes. I mean, I'm single, so I am on dating apps. I talk to lots of guys.
When you talk to a lot of guys and have an obscene number of options, people tend to get overly picky or paralyzed from the overwhelming amounts of choice. Then you add in the fact that you have very limited information on these choices, so you'll look for factors that are irrelevant to the ability to foster a good relationship, like how good a guy is at taking selfies, instead of focusing on whether your personalities match or not. Back in the day when relationships were more successful, people used to find their relationship partners through their social groups. This way, instead of meeting a bunch of randos on the internet, your friends and family would vet your partners for you by using their network, which adds the context of personality into the process. Yeah, that means you'll have fewer choices, but the choices you do get will be much higher quality, so less of your time is wasted. And like I said, having an overwhelming number of choices is not a good thing. That tends to give people a pessimistic or dismissive attitude. They don't feel the need to put in the effort because they can be on a date with someone else tomorrow. That framing for the date matters because framing is everything. For those of you who don't know what framing is basically how you present an idea. Speaking of cut and the importance of framing, there's another social experiment they did where people in the fashion industry rated people's appearance. You can watch how these two professionals say pretty much the exact same thing to these people, but get different responses. The reason they get different responses is all in the framing. Watch this scene where they comment on a guy who is wearing really ugly pants. We'll start with the woman first, who was a former model.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'm wearing purple funky pants.
Yes, they are funky, all right. It doesn't go together. Shows me that you're very comfortable, but stay comfortable in your house.
Damn, your insight is very good in some situations, but honestly, like, I don't give a flying fuck if this is just like my drip, and I still love myself, so.
I can tell.
Wow, that was pretty bad. Now, personally, I agree with what she said, but the problem is that he didn't accept the idea and he actually got pissed off at her feedback. Let's see how Funky Pants Guy responds to the modeling scout.
Hi there. Let's take a look and see how your walk is, and then we can determine whether or not maybe runway might be a good thing for you. Can you smile? Okay. A lot of work to do on him for runway. I mean, listen, if we lost the pajama pants and the extra large jacket on him, he could absolutely go out to clients with a good haircut.
Thank you.
You got it.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
Do you see how much different the response was when Funky Pants Guy was told his outfit didn't look good? Listen to what the modeling scout said. You have no charisma, change your hair, don't wear that jacket, and those pants suck. He actually criticized Pajama Pants Guy more than the lady did. But instead of telling him to fuck off like he did with the woman, he actually thanks the modeling scout, which means he is way more likely to take the advice from the guy, whereas with the woman, he is definitely not taking her advice. Framing matters. Just like the method that you use to find relationship partners matters, just like how you begin an interaction matters. I mean, look at the difference in how these two introduce themselves.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you feel comfortable ranking people's attractiveness?
Oh, yeah. Like my parents would say, I don't know what it's like to be shy. But that really helped me a lot with my modeling career. I modeled for about 6 years, but now I'm a mother of 5, and hey, this is me now.
A little negative and a little self-centered. Not terrible, but not optimal. I don't think she's a bad person like I do with Chloe, but she is severely outclassed in communication skills by comparison to the modeling scout. Let's see how he introduces himself.
Tell me what you're doing here today.
Today, I'm going to determine who's going to be marketable for modeling in the fashion industry.
How do you measure someone's attractiveness?
I've been scouting models for several decades now. I'm going to be looking at height first, size second. Not are they good looking. Everybody's good looking in their own way. I'm just here to determine whether or not somebody can make money doing it.
I like how he answered that question because what it communicates is that he's looking out for the person he's criticizing. He does say it sarcastically, but what he essentially says is, yeah, there are a lot of people who are more attractive than others, but what I'm going to do is figure out what the most attractive thing about you is and help you highlight it, which is what he does this whole video. That energy of, I care about you, is a big part of the reason why he gets better responses from people. It also affects how he introduces himself to the people he's giving feedback to.
Get over there and hit your mark. Give us a spin. Nobody comes out wearing that outfit and isn't trying to show off and make sure that everybody sees her. What's your name?
I'm Joanna.
Have you ever tried to get into this industry?
I have not, no.
In this industry, because of your height, that's going to be the first thing that's going to take you down. Hi there.
Hi.
How old are you?
26.
What's your name?
Tyler.
You do have a great face. Those big, giant brown eyes. I like that you got the scruff going on. I would say if you were going to get into this industry, you would need to grow a little bit taller.
Very high energy, very positive, seems like he's happy to see people, and comes in with strong compliments that don't sound fake. He also uses humor to lighten the mood when he's giving critical feedback. This shows that he cares about who he's talking to. People can tell what your thoughts are without you explicitly saying them because it shows up in your expressions and your behaviors. So if you don't have the right mindset, people are going to know. Let's see how the lady does.
Could you turn around a little bit? Okay. I like your dress. It looks very good on you. Joanna, you seem nervous. Are you shy?
I guess I'm a little bit reserved.
I can tell you feel intimidated. I think you have a very good smile.
Thank you.
You look clean.
Thank you.
With your hair, you're trying to stay young. On the facial hair, you try to look older. The combination kind of sets you off a little bit.
Not as positive, not as caring, a little awkward, and people can tell that she doesn't have as strong of an interest in their viewpoints like the guy does because of the way she frames her messaging. Again, not a character flaw, just a representation of her communication skills compared to the modeling scout. Hell, this guy is so good at what he does that if I were in the same situation, even I would be severely outclassed like the lady is. But that difference in skill is why when she's honest with people, they respond like this.
8.
Okay.
What you need to tone down.
What you would suggest, because what I need, I already do.
Okay. If you wanna show that spunk of professionalism, you need to first try to take that out. Well, I'm telling you.
So I only keep jobs that let me keep my nose ring.
Well, then you're limiting yourself to who you are.
So I'm aligning myself with what is in alignment with me.
Okay.
Again, I agree with everything she said. Nose rings don't look good. They're distracting, and from a career perspective, only taking jobs that allow you to have the nose ring is going to harm your ability to find good quality jobs. I had to cut this for time, but she also comments on this girl's long nails, which is met with an equally negative response. I agree with the former model. I'm not sure who started this trend, but I have never heard a guy say he is attracted to 1 to 2 inch long nails. I've pretty much heard guys say good things about every feature except for that one, and I've always felt that those super long nails that basically cripple your ability to do any kind of work are unattractive. Anyway, let's see how the guy handles this.
If I was going to get you into modeling, I would say let's take out the piercing, go for the big curls, keep everything great on the face. I don't mind the scar. Everything can be taken care of through Photoshop. But on a number of what's marketable, I'd easily just say 5. It's not too high, it's not too low. You would definitely be able to work in the petite market in a certain city. But no piercing.
Again, he says the same things the woman did, but gets a much better response. Personally, I think this particular girl is very high maintenance and probably doesn't want feedback. Actually, I will show the nail thing because it shows just how resistant she is to critical commentary.
And the nails, beautiful, but they're too long.
To work with you.
Well, too long.
To work with you.
Not just me, dear.
People like you.
Because of this resistance, she still probably won't take the modeling scout's advice either, but the better odds of her listening were with him. And did you see him getting away with calling her a 5 out of 10? That's 3 points lower than the lady gave her.
8.
Okay.
But on a number of what's marketable, I'd easily just say 5.
How many women would be happy being called a 5 out of 10? The reason he gets away with it is because he's using a communications principle on distancing people away from the critical feedback. You can see him doing this the whole video. Instead of saying, you should change this, he says, if I was going to get you into modeling, I would say, let's take out the nose piercing. The feedback is more focused on what he would do instead of directly being about her. This prevents people from getting defensive. Normally, I would shy away from indirectness, but at a certain point, we just have to do what works. The important thing is finding ways to get people to improve. Plus, he's still being honest and he didn't lie to anyone. You can also make people more likely to listen to you by telling them stories about people with similar problems, instead of making it directly about the person you're criticizing. One more thing on being indirect. If you notice, when he calls her a 5, he doesn't say, I think your attractiveness is a 5 out of 10. He says, in terms of marketability, you're a 5. It's the same thing. The only difference is the framing. Seriously, when he calls this guy a 10, do you think he is just talking about his marketability?
How's it going?
That's a yes. That works. Yeah, I'd give him a 10. Absolutely. Somebody would book him.
This guy is a master at communications, and the great thing about it is that he can be brutally honest and give people very important feedback without them having a meltdown. I cannot stress this enough. If you want your interactions to go well, framing is important. Now, it might seem stressful to learn this stuff, but to simplify it, I think that you'll find a lot of these framing techniques coming out naturally if you just start taking more of an interest in other people and start caring about them more. I think dating can be that simple too. If you just make a slight change in the framing of how people meet each other by pulling it away from dating apps, you'll find much better results and much healthier relationships without a ton of added effort. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.